Bill, Loz D Punch Out TV. How are you all doing on this miserable, wet Monday night? I hope you're all good out there. Um, just want to chuck my 10 pence worth out about the Parker versus Joyce fight. I know everyone's seen all the post fights videos and that, but I just want to speak quickly or just speak on the fight. First of all, what a brilliant fight. Absolutely loved it. Take me out off to Joseph Parker, take me out off for Joyce for giving me an very entertaining heavyweight fight. Loved every minute of it. I never had any doubt. Well, I did have a bit of doubt on my last video that I've always backed Joyce for the last couple of years because I just see him improving every time he fights. But I wasn't too sure if he was going to beat Joseph Parker, because I thought to myself, if Joseph Parker could come in a good weight, like not being too heavy, he could box his way to a victory, throw bunches and punches, get out of the way, move around the ring. And then later on that day after I made my video, I found out that he come in a stone heavier. And after the second round, I could tell that he looked like he was struggling carrying that extra stone. But the thing is, in that fight as well, to me, he looked like he carried the weight very well. I thought when he fought Derek Chisora in his last fight, he looked very out of shape. He looked a bit flabby and stuff like that. But in this fight, even though he was a stone heavier, I found that he carried his weight. He looked like he was comfortable. Everything looked tight on him. He didn't look overweight, like flabby. He looked like he was in good shape. Joyce come in at a record heavy as well. But I've been saying it for years. Joyce is a dark horse in that heavyweight division. I mean, me myself, a few years back, 4 years ago, when I watched him, I thought, oh, he's slow and stuff like that. And he's still not the fastest heavyweight now, but it's his style. His key secrets is he's got one of the best jabs. He's got a brilliant ramrod, solid jab. It's the relentless pressure this man puts you under. He's got a Rolls Royce Merlin engine, like the one out of the Spitfire. He can just keep going forever, this man. He can box. Even when he's carrying that extra weight, he still looked comfortable. I said to my son said to RRV after the second round, I said, look at when Josie Parker went back to the corner, I said, look at Josie Parker's face. All his face was reddening up on one side. Josie Parker fought a brilliant fight, I thought. People may give him stick, and I like Parker, I like Joyce. Josie Parker hit him with some clean right hands. He just didn't do anything, just bounced off the man, which we all know he's got this granite chin. He basically he just got beat by a bigger man. That's all it was. I wouldn't say that Joyce is a better boxer than Josie Parker. No, I think Parker's a better boxer than him. But he's just Parker to me looked like he's struggling. Like I say, he was blown out of his arse carrying that extra weight. Joyce doesn't give you anywhere to run. Parker was coming on, having little spurts and then looking for places to rest, moving around the ring. But the thing is with Joyce, you don't get that time to have a rest or catch your breath. He's just like a wasp. He's all over you. He mixed the body shots. His jab was perfect. His defence wasn't brilliant, but we know Joe hasn't got pretty much a non-existing defence. As I said many times before, if you can't get this guy out of here, he basically just breaks you down. He soul destroys you. He breaks you down because you're hitting him, like I've said many times, and this is what I've got videos from the very first fight between Daniel Barr before it got called off. I think it was a year before they actually fought. I said the same thing. I said a year later, and the videos are still up on my archives. I said Joyce will walk him down, will break him down, and he'll end up stopping him. And I got the round correct, which I don't get many rounds correct, so I was pretty pleased with that. But he's just an absolute menace. He's a menace. He's got a style what's effective, what can just people rip him saying he's slow and all stuff like that. But his engine, his chin, he's strong. He can lean on you, he can drain you, everything. He hits hard. I mean, it was a devastating knockout when Parker got knocked down. I seen his eyes go back and his head shoot back. I thought, he ain't getting up. And all credit to Josie Parker, he got up. Josie Parker went out on his shield in my eyes. He didn't quit. He didn't, you know, it wasn't as if he didn't want that smoke. He made the mistake of standing and trading with him too many times. He should have been on his bike more. But when you're carrying that extra weight, it just goes to show that he can be a problem. I believe he was a. I can see where he's coming from, the extra weight for, you know, power, because Joe's a big bloke, Joyce. But I think Parker didn't need that extra weight. And this is what I was saying in my video. If he comes in at a comfortable weight, that he could possibly just buzz around and box his way to a victory, which in some of the rounds he did. Josie Parker had some great rounds. I think it was round 6. I had them 3 pieces, 3 rounds each. So I want to see Josie Parker come back. I think he can. Whether or not he'll ever fight for a title again, I don't know. But I don't think he should retire. I've heard a couple of people saying he should retire. I don't think so. He's only just turned 30 years old. Old fish eyes Frank Warren now needs to press on with Joyce, because Joyce is 37. He ain't getting no younger. And yes, you know who you are, Mr. Johnson. Stop hating on Joyce. Stop it, Mike. No, I'm only joking, Mike. I'm only buzzing with you, bro. You know I rock with you, Mike. But I can understand where Mike's coming from. How long is he gonna keep taking these punches before the concrete cracks? Will it crack? I don't know. It was just a great fight. Like I say, Josie Parker hit him with some cracking right hands, and he just at him. He didn't even flinch. And I think he made a big statement. The only guy to stop Josie Parker, you know, Anthony Joshua couldn't do it. Dillian White couldn't do it, even though he lost to them. I think if Joe had used the uppercut a lot more, he could have probably got him out of there a few rounds earlier. Like I was listening to what Stormy B-Man was saying. I totally agree with you, Stormy. But hats off to both fighters. Fully enjoyed it. Didn't manage to catch the undercard. I just caught this fight, and I was pleased. Happy night of boxing, heavyweight boxing. Onwards and upwards now for Joyce. I do believe he's mandatory through set for the WBO. I'd like to see him get his shot and see what happens. But yeah, hats off to Josie Parker and Joyce on a tremendous fight, what I thoroughly enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Peace out. I'll catch you on the next one.